Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to another run of the Modern Horizons 3 Play Booster Arena Direct. Let's just get back into it. Best of one sealed of Modern Horizons. You gotta win 6 wins before 2 losses to get anything, and even that is not max prize out. What just happened? 5,000 rares. That's obviously very exciting at first glance. But then you look at the rares and realize there are 2 Estrid's Invocations. There is a Flare of Duplication. There is a Primal Prayers. There is a Bloodstained Mire. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these that are basically blank pieces of cardboard, Ugin's Labyrinth as well. So, massive quantity of rares, but realistically speaking, it's basically still a 6 rare sealed pool. Our rares are Subtlety, which is pretty absurd. Ophiomancer can also be very strong. 6 is really good as well. That's 3 great rares. The Phoenix is a really good hasty threat, and the Fanatic is a great mana dork. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 excellent rares. Wrath of the Skies is a little weird, because the majority of white decks in this format are somewhat aggressive, where board wipes like Wraths play a little bit worse, but it should still be pretty decent. And then the Storm Drake is also really weird, but usually plays out pretty decent. If you can run this out on turn 2 before your opponent has a creature on their board, you just get a 2-mana 3/2 flyer, which is really good. 5 really solid rares here, and then some okay ones, and a lot of unplayable ones. But hey, that's better than average. It's better than average, because the average sealed pool opens like 7 rares, 2 or 3 of which are unplayable. So, sure, we opened like 5 unplayable rares, but that means that we opened 6 playable ones, which is great. What do we got? We lost the Chrysalis Lottery. No Writhing Chrysalis in this sealed pool. Colorless stuff. Double Wastegate Battle Mage. This card's very, very good. Both of the kicker effects on this can be really good against the right deck in the right position. The most consistent kicker ability is the one to return a creature back to their hand. But if they have an artifact or enchantment on board, that's the more powerful ability, just permanently exiling that. Ooh, we got the Riddle Keeper as well as the Lurker. Got a really good core to a blue-based Eldrazi deck. We also had that Subtlety and a great mythic rare. Flash in a 4-mana 3/3 flyer and bounce their creature spell back to their hand. Actually, back to the top of their library. It's a very good tempo play in blue, so blue-based Eldrazi stuff's looking pretty sick. There's even a Depth Defiler there in blue, so I'm really interested in that. The It That Heralds the End could also be good in that deck. We're going to want to run all of our landscapes for a bunch of colorless sources. Awkwardly, our landscapes are really off color, though. We only have a single blue landscape. It's the blue, white, black one. We do not have a green-blue landscape at all. Multiple green-red, so we could try doing like green-red-blue or something like that. All right, let's just look at all of our colors now. Our fixing isn't great, so we just like shove the 2 best colors together, that'd be good. White looks fine. Best things going for it are Auxiliary for an aggressive strategy or Wrath of the Skies for a defensive strategy. Blue. Our best blue cards are our colorless cards. So looking at the blue itself, it's not that exciting. But with all of our Eldrazi spells that also get some benefits from blue mana, it's quite good. And the Subtlety is really strong here to make up for the kind of lack of interaction. Black, triple Wither and Bloom's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the Ophiomancer as well. Double Scurrilous Sentry to set up our Drogs. I don't mind. Like a blue-black at the core style strategy here. Still a little low on interaction, but now we have triple Wither and Bloom. Really good creatures throughout the curve. So a lot of stuff we can play earlier before we play all those 7-mana Eldrazi. Red, Mogmob is not playable, Flare is not good, Siege Snatch is only good in aggro. Red is here if we try to cheese somebody out with aggro. And green, oh, Fanatic and 6. Makes it pretty hard to want to play black over playing green. We could go green, blue at the core, and splash black for triple Wither and Bloom. It's probably where it's at. Path of Annihilation fixes mana. Malevolent Rebel can dig. And then we have access to green and blue off of the Battle Mage. I really do like our black. I almost want to splash blue. But our best blue card's double blue. I have to give up on subtlety if we do that. Yeah. Our blue gives us subtlety and depth defiler for exciting cards. Waddle's pretty good too, but the rest is filler. But black, it's like triple Wither and Bloom and Marauder for interaction. We got an Ophiomancer there. Marionette Apprentice is really good as well. Plays super well with the Ophiomancer. Skirless Sentry's digging consistently. I really, really like this black. I think we're splashing blue for Battle Mage Kicker. Dropping the double blue stuff. Feeling like cutting these. Just a combat tricky thing and Mana Rock. I don't have a massive amount of colorless spells or tokens. Oh, this only reduces the cost of the 7 mana or greater ones too. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a crazy hit that heralds the end deck. Cards that require colorless mana to cast have to be very strong to justify making the cut here. We have the 3 landscapes. Yeah, I'd probably cut it that heralds the end. Definitely Gift of the Viper. Could cut a little bit of the big stuff if I cut the Mana Rock too. Could like Lurker, Power Stone. Still looking real good. Or we just cut like one mid-ranger, an Oozewag, or one of the 2 sentries. Definitely none of the 2s. Transmigant's good with a Cursed Marauder. Nothing else in the whole deck really cares about like sacrificing it or anything. I guess that's a good discard to the double sentry as well. Yeah, I kind of like that. Oozewag or a sentry is the final cut. I don't have a crazy amount of stuff to ramp into off of Path of Annihilation, but it also lets us just dump our hand really quickly. Play this and then just dump the rest of our hand out, even if it is cheaper spells. Fixes our mana too. And drop an Oozewag on this deck. Make sure to put 1 island in here for the Battle Mages. 9/9 split of our main colors thanks to our landscapes. 2 green landscapes, 7 forests, that's 9. 3 black landscapes, 6 swamps, that's 9. Got a blue landscape and an island for literally just Battle Mage. Don't think I need to go super heavy on that blue splash. I could put another in, but this is still castable without the blue. So like every single blue card in the deck is still castable without blue. So it feels hard to justify putting in another blue at that point. So what are my biggest concerns with this deck? Our removal can't kill big stuff, but that's just this sealed pool, period. Right, we have -3/-3. We have Horrific Assault can kill the biggest stuff because we have some big Eldrazi, some big creatures. But it's all -X and damage base. So -3/-3 and then damage base removal. Outside of that, maybe we get a Death Toucher. Maybe we bounce something to slow it down. Maybe we get them to sack it. But that's just a flaw of the sealed pool as a whole. That's about the best we'll be doing, period. We have 2 Expel in white. So that's kind of the only color that can kill big stuff. It'd be pretty hard to kill really big stuff with Wrath of the Skies. We've got to spend a ton of mana on that. But yeah, in blue, we have a single counter spell that might not even work, and then some bounces. In red, we don't have any removal really, and even if we did, it's small damage-based stuff. That's every color we're playing, green-black. So the sealed pool just can't kill big things no matter what deck we build. Unless we're playing white just for Expel the Unworthy. So I guess there's some kind of like black-white control version of this running Wrath and double Expel. Maybe Esper. But I think the card quality is very high in green and black. Got 6, Fanatic of Ronus, territory color up here at the top. Black has huge consistency with double Scurrilous Sentry, triple Wither and Bloom. Yeah, there's other ways to do this, but this is my favorite one. We'll call it a deck here, hop into gameplay, see how far this one can take it. This is quite an awkward opening hand. But we Brood Scale, then evolve it, and play a turn 4 color. Two mana, 3/3 Vigilance on the play. It's a black source for us. I'm going to take the untapped black source so I can Wither and Bloom instantly. Down to 17. Tap land and pass. Thank God. Did not follow it up with another creature. Got a lifelinker coming up with Wormcoil Larva. I think I can buy the time here. I actually probably should have held green up because then I'm threatening to block and activate. Nope, should have held black up. I can kill this Watchdog when it's a 3/3. I could also just kill the Auxiliary and have the Death-Touching Wormcoil Larva trade. If they have removal for this Wormcoil Larva, this game is real over. I think if I just let this through and then untap and play Larva by sacking the spawn, it's so astronomically bad for me if they just like pacify this or exile it. So I'm going to play this way instead. Which is way safer. Thank God that's not a once per turn. I always have to check nowadays because they put so many once per turns to try to stop infinites. Okay, well, there's an even bigger flyer, but Wither and Bloom can't kill that anyway. Not by itself. Drop a territory color and hold up the Bloom then. Yep. Immediately drew me a card. Thank you very much. Territory color. +1/+1 on the whole board is a possibility. And send in a 5/5 here. So probably just take the 5 if they do that. Yeah, I think we can send Brood Scale. Obviously plays poorly if they kill the Kohler, but I don't think the board is really that much better for me if I don't attack and then they kill the Kohler. So if I don't attack and then they kill the Kohler, I still have a 4/4 blocker against a 5/5 because they can do the +1/+1 thing. It's not like the block's any good, regardless. Double Area Auxiliary plus a Volt Storm Angel. They are flying in for some damage here. That hurts. Okay. Make sure the Kohler survives that. And there's the concession. Okay. Wasn't expecting the concession there, but I'll take it. I was going to assume neither of us was really happy with that interaction. Then I have to just straight trade there. Trade, go to 12. They have a 4/4, I have a 4/4, I've got more spells, they've got one card in hand. Yeah, we do end up quite a bit ahead. We do end up quite a bit ahead there. And then I can wither on the brood scale too, which is fun. Okay, take it. 1-0, heading into game 2. Game 2, here we are. Color should I crack this for? I have 1 double green, 1 double black in the deck. Well, it's a difficult choice. And I should play this and crack it, regardless. Maybe I actually don't. I have 1 card that cares about colorless. 2 copies of it, the Wastscape Battle Mage. Yeah, let's actually just chill on the landscape. I should just play to Forest or Swamp. Get a bunch of clue tokens. So if the game goes long, they can draw a bunch of cards. Okay. Pretty good. Discard the entire hand and start cracking clues. Do it. You know you want to. Okay. Discard 2, draw 4 over time. But it soaks up all their mana to draw those 4. 8 mana total. Okay, they did not kill Fanatic of Ronus, and I'm a fan of that. Means we can refurbish stuff. Sure. Crack a clue, give them 1 more option for what to discard to the familiar. So they can make sure they're discarding the weakest card of their 4. They discard a Propagator Drone. Shuffle a few cards back in for later. Invert Polarity is kind of terrifying. If they win the coin flip, they go absolutely ham. They need red, though. They need blue, blue, red. They're on triple green right now. So they won't be castable for a long time, still. Wither and Kaboom. And Malevolent Rumble? Sure. Boom. Scurrilous Sentry. Whee. Would have been crazy to take a land as well. We do have a powerful 8-drop in this hand. Here's their first red source. Marionette Apprentice is cool, but on this board, Scurrilous Sentry is cooler. Alright, we'll ditch an 8-drop. They're down to 14. Grave back this Riddle Keeper soon enough. It's probably like Wither and Bloom to make Sentry 4 power, or just discard a card to make Sentry 4 power, then get the bajillion mana off that to pay for the Grave Dig, and have the mana to Riddle Keep next turn. Yeah, Riddle Keeper's the only creature in our grave still, so Grave Dig does feel like solid line. Alright, they've gotten their full draw 4. All the clues have been cracked. Ophiomancer with the Marionette Apprentice in hand. It's pretty cool. Let's see if we can't have a 4-power sentry here. No blue for this battle mage still. I'll ditch it. They don't have any artifacts or enchantments on their board to hit, so it's just a 2-mana 2/2 in our current hand. Boom. We got all the Ronus mana now. Pick up a Riddle Keeper. I still don't have a second black source. I should have cracked this landscape at some point. Yeah, I have a million mana, but I can't double spell there. Whoops. Dread Mask. Dang it. There's my target for my exile spell. We just tap the whole board and kill them real quick. Oh, it just counters it, period. Okay, it's not one where I can pay for it. Shoot. Well, still in a really good spot overall. Almost feel like Apprentice and Ophiomancer is just a much quicker follow through than Dread Mask. All three of these are just really good at getting there. We could just Stitch Wither and Bloom. Okay. There's a concession from our opponent. We are 2-0 heading into game 3. I think the early game spells in this hand are good enough to keep the monocolored hand. Is awkward. Just a colorless for Battle Mage. I'm not going to crack it for blue immediately. This is the card that needs blue also needs colorless, which is Battle Mage. So let's just run out of Swamp and pass for now. Nightshade Dryad. Perfectly happy to Wither and Bloom the Mana Dork. Now I would be able to Battle Mage and exile an artifact or enchantment next turn. Tap land pass. Sure. Transmigrant and Apprentice. Discharge the Apprentice, fair enough. The exile removal on the Transmigrant. Curse Marauder's not bad, because could single-handedly counter some kind of big Eldrazi. Opponent is stuck on mana, but we don't really have any pressure here. I have to Grave Dig a Marionette Apprentice back. It's That's my best play. Okay. Hello, Mythic Common, third best card in the whole set, including rares and mythics. And then goodbye, I will say. They got a lot of mana now. You... Actually, I could cycle that off of tokens later. Why did I click green? I'll still play this because I could Wither and Bloom without sacking. It's big. That is not. Block 2, block 2. Take 3, get drained. Only 2 now. Reduce the chance of flood. If I attack all, they eat this. Bounce off this. Eat this. Take 1. They're at 3. Could sack before this dies. I could sack this to put them to 2, but if I sack that, if it's getting through anyway, it's the same amount of damage, so we can put them to 2. If I attack all and lose Apprentice, that does not seem worth it. Because Apprentice won't be there anymore to finish them off. Could have sent like the 2/2 and the 1/1 in, because any creature dying is good with Marionette Apprentice, but they have the blocks to then go bounce there. Let 1 in, go to 3. I still should have attacked with the 2/2 and the 1/1 there. We could have got them down to 3 here. But I can do that this turn still. The 1/1 at the very least, like they have no other option but to let it deal at least one way or the other. And then there's the Rumble. Okay, so the Rumbler finishes them. This, I guess they could sack the spawn to make this not hit them. So I do need to actually send a little more aggressively. Send like this. One way or the other, we're getting 1 damage, and they're killing this, or they're killing this, or they're killing this. They don't have a spawn to use on all of them, and then Rumble plus triple sack. It's the final 3. There might be a way for them to line this up and kill none of our creatures. I don't think there is. Yes, they can sack this spawn to stop a 1 from dying. So go block plus sack, 1/3 on 2/2, but there's no way to then block the sentry without killing it. Okay, these would not kill sentry, but then the 1/1's gonna die and ping them, and they'll be at 3. Yeah, there's no way for them to kill 0 creatures here. I'm gonna guess they can do that, and then they still take the 1. There's no way for them to not take a 1 there. GG from opponent. And that is GG. That is 3-0. Guaranteed a positive record this time around and getting at least some of our entry fee back. The double battle mage is sketchy in this hand because I feel like I need to landscape on black. If we just top deck a swamp, it's beautiful, but top deck another black card? I think I have to landscape for the swamp and just have uncastable battle mages here, because like Apprentice into Ophiomancer? Such a start on 2 and 3. Guess if they play a good artifact or enchantment, then we can wait and play battle mage on 3 to start our curve off. Don't crack the landscape, that way we still have the colorless source. That is not an artifact, and Apprentice plays really well against it because the servo token. Gotta do what you gotta do. Emmerich Wolves Messenger Tempest Harvester is quite the wombo combo. Get a spawn every turn. Oh god, the Sneaky Snacker Engrave, do not draw another card. Do not draw another card. And they reanimate the Snacker too. That'd be an insane turn. Oh, don't you do it. Don't you dare have the 1-mana draw one. I'm begging you. Please. Oh! That is incredible stuff. Okay, well now we know they have mountains of synergy for Tempest Harvester, so we kill that. Just kill Harvester and Messenger. Oop-a-dee-doop. I can afford to take 2 in the sky every turn. I just can't afford them getting like insane snacker value stuff. Shit, this is an Ether Spike for 5 million. You never get anything through that. It's just the magical Esper control build. They got all like the 5-mana draw 3s and counters and stuff. I hope not. But it is seeming that way. Gargantua's pretty sick. These battle mages are awful. Keep our little chumping buddy. They have another counterspell. This game's completely over. Don't see a reason to play around it. Playing around it is just sitting here doing nothing forever. If I play around the counterspell, I'm giving them another draw 2 that I might be able to prevent by doing this attack. Okay. Well, we get free damage, which isn't nothing. It is a May ability for them to draw 2 and lose 2, so I cannot Wither and Bloom their Gargantua to ping them for 2. Just thought I'd bring that up right now, because this is a game that looks like it will come down to ping damage. We cannot force extra pings onto them. Don't think Wither and Blooming a Snacker is particularly good against their deck. But it's not like I'm getting through the 6/6 with it. And they can't reanimate it this turn, at least. Man, with the lands that we drew here, we would have been really, really doomed mana-wise either way we played it. If I didn't crack the swamps so that I could try to play battle mages, I wouldn't have a black source until after I run out just 2 mana 2/2s with no text. I did not draw an additional black source at any point either. Kami of Jealous Thirst is really, really nice in the draw 3 strategy. They can even just start dumping all their mana into that. I mean, I think Kami just wins it. Because we're like in a top deck war where we don't even have particularly great draws, potentially. And they could just sit here draining us for life every turn and getting way out of reach of ever going back. They just open insane synergy for the draw 3. Just all of the snacker combos and Kami combos. They have Harvester +2 in the narrative. They have the Insight that can trigger all those cards twice. They have the Gargantua that can trigger all those cards. I am so jealous right now. Just the full synergy. Sure. Still do my looting, which is important. Gotta be. Do I really keep a battle mage over a swamp? Probably not. Well, you got me. Double Kami for drain 4 there. Does not matter what we draw from there. That is our first loss, 3-1, heading into game number 5. Hand just really, really didn't work out. We never found another colorless for the battle mages, so it was essentially a multi-5. It was a risky keep, and that was like the one big decision point of the game, just whether or not we mulligan that. We drew very poor mana for it, and we didn't draw any creatures bigger than like a 2/2 the whole game either, which meant our opponent was under like no pressure. Not what you want to see. This hand is probably even more risky than our last one, because it doesn't do anything until turn 4 and we're on the draw. So if our opponent's like Boros, we're just gonna die if we don't draw 2 drops immediately. If our opponent's also a slow grindy deck, this does have a lot of really powerful potential in the late game, but it's not tremendously likely to get there. I think we have to mulligan. That's just unkeepable. There's only one on-color card and it's 6 mana. Okay, we get to play a literal multi-5 this time. Have to draw perfectly. I don't think there's a better hand than 3 lands, 2 Wither and Bloom. But I guess this hand doesn't even need 3 mana at that point, so it's better to just be like 2 Wither and Bloom and then maybe a finisher if I flood out. Ay, ay, ay. Landscape's green or colorless in case I top deck Battle Mage. Ophiomancer or something. Turn 2 Tempest Harvester on the play. Just Wither that this time. We got double Wither in the opener. That was the other like one decision point of last game. I was not expecting Tempest Harvester to matter that much. If we killed it before they did anything else, then we would have gotten would have stopped the sneaky snacker shenanigans from happening that early. Definitely kill the man at work there, the Void Crawl. Nightshade Dryad. Well, there's a new better. Well, I don't know about better. This one gives them more mana and draws them cards, but this one's any color. It's a death touching blocker too. Okay. Ophiomancer. It's actual comedy. You can't make it up. There's the draw 3. Four color. Says no targets on the board. Battle Mage has been just absolutely awful in this deck. Okay. This game was going to be a loss with or without Battle Mage. The Altisar finisher for another 2-for-1. They've 3-for-1'd us and 2-for-1'd us on a multi 5. And if they ever run out of cards, they can keep drawing off Party Thrasher. There's just really no digging out of the card disadvantage hole that we're in from our mulligans on this game. Battle Mage still doesn't kill anything, so it's tempting to just crack this for another forest, so any land I hit I can Dread Mask. Oh. Party Thrasher going for the card draw engine here. They can steal my territory color with that. Does not get any better from here. Yep. We got a 5 toughness reach creature, so all we can do is pass through. One mana to permanently blow up my 6/6. You don't have to spend any energy on it. I'm dead to any removal. It's also really bad. There are no outs in this deck. I'm never running this card again. 3 and 2 it is. That last game was inevitable. Based on the mulligans, so that can just happen any deck there. So the last round was just variance. The last loss. But I think our first loss, we could have stood a much better chance without the battle mages in the deck. They were just very inconsistent to get that colorless. We have the 3 natural colorless sources, as well as Brood Scale, Malevolent Rumble, Path of Annihilation. It's 1, 2, 3, 6 colorless sources for the double battle mage splash. It sounds somewhat reasonable, but played absolutely terribly for our first loss. And I think that's the biggest area that things could have changed, right? Because both of those losses, there's not a lot we could have changed about our gameplay. I mean, we could have Wither and Bloomed their card draw engine immediately. I mean, it wasn't card draw, it was card filtering. It was just a looter. But if we killed it immediately, they wouldn't have had the sneaky snacker combo stuff quite so soon. Would have kept some pressure off us, but even if we had Wither and Bloomed that immediately, the much bigger issue was that they were playing tons of 2-for-1s and 3-for-1s. That archetype's just really good at grinding out a lot of value, and having essentially the multified by having both the battle mages in the hand. That was really bad there. So that was more like a huge card advantage over time issue rather than just like immediately getting a snacker out. They still would have gotten good snacker combos later that would have done a lot of value. So I think the biggest stuff today, rather than being anything gameplay-wise that could have particularly changed the outcome of those 2 games, was deck building-wise. The battle mages were bad today, so drop the 2 battle mages, run a lurker, run an Oozwag. Yeah, Oozwag and lurker would just have played way better than the double battle mage, and we would have stood a bit of a better chance there. Certainly in that first loss at the very least. The second loss, don't remember if we had Battle Mage in any of the openers that we mulliganed. If we didn't have Battle Mage in any of the openers that we mulliganed, then that last loss is a loss no matter what, if we have to double mull to 5. So, don't know about that one, but the Battle Mages should not have been in this deck from the start. They were pretty bad. Yeah. Not too much else to say in terms of deck building and gameplay. I do think this was the best deck in our pool. We had a really cool, pretty strong rare in blue, but I think the rest of the blue was a lot lighter than how good our black and our green were. I do think these were the best colors. Don't think it was the best way to build it. I don't think we had enough of these colorless lands to be running those battle mages, and the blue splash for the battle mages was pretty relevant, so we probably should have just gone pure green-black, nice consistent mana base that way, and run the Oozwag, run the lurker over the double battle mage. That would have just been a better deck. More consistent mana, and maybe with that more consistent mana, by not playing the island, not playing the contaminated landscape, just playing purely green and black sources, that could have affected both of our losses, right? Because one of our losses, because we had 2 uncastable cards, it was basically a mull to 5, and our last loss as well, we lost because we mulliganed twice immediately. We're instantly down on cards quite a bit and just couldn't interact enough with what they were doing later in that game. We didn't have enough cards to play around with, so if we were a deck with a more consistent mana base, that could have affected both of those games. Everything in the hand could have been castable in our first loss, and In our second loss, we might not have had to take that initial mulligan because we would have had more green and black sources in the deck. It's a chance that we would have had both of our colors in our initial 7-card opening hand, and it would have been keepable there. So, yeah, this was our first loss in a while that I do feel it was deck building decisions that caused the losses here. That said, once again, don't love the sealed pool. I don't absolutely hate it, but I don't feel like it had a particularly good chance of getting close to a 7 winner regardless. But it certainly could have done a bit better with a better build. So that's what to focus on there. Definitely should have just gone for a more consistent mana base from the start. The colorless spells and the colorless plus blue splash, that was really, really bold. I think Riddle Keeper is strong enough, though, to play even without the blue splash for the emerge, just as the 8-drop. So we could have kept that in there, dropped an island, dropped a contaminated landscape, had more consistent colors for potentially not having to mulligan, potentially having a better shot at those losses, but still a 3-2 run, still yet another positive win rate run. Slightly above average, I'll take it in a competitive event like this. If we keep up that win rate, eventually we're bound to get a sequence of games that ends up with a 6-2 or a 7-2 at some point. But we'll see. That is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and the YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.